We are running here. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. Oh, there's the Casper. There's the Casper. Oh, okay. Okay, we're not quite there yet. Come on, Facebook. Oh, come on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Come on. Come on, baby, go. There we go. We are up and running. There we go. Good morning from North Carolina. Good morning. Good morning from Boise. All right. Nice to see everybody. All righty. We are up and running. North Carolina, Palm Desert. Hey, Palm Desert. Good morning from Boise, the lovely couple. Good morning from South Carolina and North Carolina. The Carolinas are checking in. All right, we're glad to see you. Yay. We're going to gong ourselves in about 1 minute. And we're going to go live with Coffee and Casper. We'll be here this week. We'll be live next week. We're getting back into the rhythm. A little bit of summer left. I had such a wonderful time with my family. All right, let me know where you're checking in. Water and ocean and everything. All right, nice to see everybody this morning. All right, there's our time. Let's check in. Let me know where you're at. We're glad you're here. We're going to take a big deep breath and bring ourselves to center. Here we go. It's 8:30. We're just going to spend these 20 minutes together. Here we go. Let's take a big deep breath in. Good morning, Daz. Nice to see you this morning. All right. Another big deep breath in. We'll let the sound We'll do that one more time. Big deep breath in. Let the energy come up into your heart center. And just allow yourself to be present for these next 20 minutes as we explore what we as light workers might be doing in the world. I got a comment from one of our friends, Cameron, who says, maybe this Coffee with Casper is a little over the audience's head. Well, good morning from Arizona. Well, what I would say is what we know is as soon as you come into the awareness that there's only one energy, that energy and matter are equal and interchangeable, then we recognize that we are part of that energy and that all things are interrelated and interconnected. So if you find yourself watching Coffee with Casper, and we're talking about light workers and coming into your first cause and coming into fulfilling your mission, and what we proclaim here is that we are in an age of awareness. We are in the dawning of the age of Aquarius, of the new time, when a new time would birth forth and humanity would realize the interconnectedness of all things and take responsibility for that, and then take responsibility for where previously in ignorance we would continue to do the thing that we know didn't work. Now we're waking up and we're supplanting old ideas with new ideas and beginning to realize that everything I do and say is connected and interconnected. Well, there's the coffee. There's the Casper. He wants to say hi. Good to see everybody this morning. We're having Coffee with Casper. We're just talking about how we might lighten up and how we might enlighten the world. By I say lighten up, I mean increasing our vibration. Casper, what are you doing? You're playing in the mud and then coming over here. Okay, down. So here's where I was. I just spent a week with my family in the ocean, on the water, and beaches, and all the like in and out. Good morning. Good morning from Eureka. All right. Good morning from Albuquerque. All right. We got them all coming and everybody's checking in. We're glad you're here. So anyway, it was just heaven, and one good thing would happen after another. Schedules and people coming in and out, and families coming together, and friends coming together, and meeting old friends. It was just heaven, and good and more good continues to come. And we borrow that wonderful affirmation from Ernest Holmes, the great mystic and teacher from the last. Good morning from San Diego. That's the Reverend Michelle Ingalls. We'll be speaking for her on this Sunday at the One Heart, One Mind Center. You can Google that up. We'll be out there Sunday morning teaching live on the internet there as well. Anyway, we're glad you're here today. And so this wonderful old affirmation, which we've brought back to life, and I've seen it already change a lot of people's lives, is good and more good is mine. There's no limit to the good that is mine. Everywhere I go, I see this good. I feel it. It crowds itself against me. It multiplies itself around me. Good multiplying itself around you simply because you know you came from the light. You came to bring light in a time of transformation in a world that was asleep, in a world that was unawakened to the reality of the interconnectedness of all things. So anyway, as I was having all of this good and all this watching, synchronicity just work from one thing to the next. And I thought, what should we talk about on Coffee with Casper when we've been away for a couple of weeks? And it came to me a vision of an event that happened to me some time ago. I led a retreat up to Sedona, Arizona. If you know anything about Sedona, Arizona, or the Earth vortexes, the theory is that the Earth has acupuncture points just like the human body does, and that if certain of those points are emitting different kinds of energy. And Sedona, Arizona is known for being one of those places with many vortexes on it, energetic points of the planet. And when we go to those points, like the Grand Canyon or some of the great miracles of the world, we can feel the power of nature and the power of Mother Earth, just like when you're out 75, 60 miles from any shoreline. The depth and vastness of the ocean is just amazing. So when we touch into that grandeur of the planet, it sort of wakens us up. Well, anyway, we were taking a bunch of people, and we had learned all about the different vortexes, and we were sharing information, and we had a group. Most of the group was in their 30s and 40s. We had some people that were in their 50s. We had some that were in their 60s on this. About 40 people, I think, were with us. Good morning, Paul, from some great part of the world, either Studio City or Colorado. Anyway, one of the people was in her early 80s. She was the oldest one with us on that expedition. She was very vibrant. She loved participating, and she loved going on these little hikes and learning about these little things. And we were going up one of the vortexes called Bell Mountain, which was a mountain. You got to climb up it. And I was very concerned. I was up the front of the line trying to find a nice mesa or flat top rock for us to all convene on. And so I'm leading, and I was very concerned about Ellen, the oldest person in the group, getting up this rather steep mountain. And I turned around to look at the group, and all of a sudden I saw Ellen coming from the back of the line being handed a hand by everybody in front of her. One hand, then the next hand, then the next hand. And it was almost like she was being carried up the mountain. And nobody organized it. Nobody said we should do this. I just turned around, and the flow of energy had everybody's compassion reaching out and supporting everybody else, and basically almost flying up this mountain to get to a flat top rock where we could sit and chat. It was an amazing thing to see how the natural flow of life moved toward a synchronicity that brought forth this unfolding. I want to share with you the definition of synchronicity right out of the dictionary, Oxford Dictionary. The simultaneous occurrence of events which appear to be significantly related but have no discernible connection. Now, what you and I know is that there's no such thing as a disconnect in anything, and that we are multiple level beings, that we are spiritual beings, we are mental beings, we have an etheric body, a physical body, a mental body, an emotional body, that we are, as human beings, incarnated as the I am that I am. We are multidimensional beings. We are not just a skin encapsulated meatball. We are multidimensional beings with this marvelous mechanism called the body, through which we are expressing our soul nature at the greatest level of our understanding. And I remind us something that we've talked about here a lot of times, with the Meister Eckhart saying, for the 12th century mystic, he says, the soul, which is your eternal nature, the part of you that came from the light, that put on a coat of skins that will return to your light, your soul nature is the Christ, the Atman, the Buddha, the High Self. It's the glory of the recreation of the Most High. What we would have said in religious language, it is the glory of the recreation of God as you, and as me, and as Jesus, and as Moses, and as Buddha, and as Gandhi, and as Nelson Mandela, and as all of the great saints, sages, mystics, prophets, and way showers throughout time. All of them are the body of the child of God, the daughter, son and daughter of God, which the word that we would use through time, or that my heritage would use through time, is the assuming of the Christ consciousness. Basically rising up to that level of soul that is gazing, as Master Eckhart said, gazing at the glory of God, while at the same time it is looking at your little human self and trying to direct you towards spiraling up and up and up into the greater levels of awareness to reveal, behold, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The kingdom of heaven defined as everything is just right all the time. Now we're working our way there, and we get into moments of flow, just like without any instruction, Ellen was being guided and ascended up this mountain through the loving kindness and compassion of human beings in a body who happen to be tuning in through prayer and meditation and our focus to participate in the energy of the earth on this particular expedition and bring it forward into expression. And it happened automatically. Things that seemed disconnected connected themselves automatically. They seemed unrelated, but they were synchronized, and synchronicity reveals itself as perfect flow, right? Now that's where we get into the flow that you and I can work on this week. And that's what I'm going to encouraging you to do this week, is to work on the idea that you deserve your good, that there's no limit to the amount of good that you have, because you were born in the image and likeness of the One, and you were born as the glory of the living Christ, the Buddha consciousness, the awakening of the Atman, the High Self, the glory of you. And now bringing that awareness, hey Mark, welcome from Atascadero, good morning from Burbank. All right. So it's so wonderful to have you all here. I'm glad we're all here. And of course, if you're enjoying our time together, what we invite you to do is share the video anywhere and everywhere you can, because our goal is to be those people in the line that are lifting the next person up. We're just lifting the next person up because we can see that we are moving forward to our own destination, which is the fulfillment of our life's purpose, which is to bring more light into the world that is waking up, to supplant the ignorance of unconsciousness with the conscious choices to be in tune with the infinite, to be in tune with love and light and truth and wisdom and peace and poise and harmony and glory and good and more good and no limit to that good, and allowing that good to come through us into our experience, accepting it, and then allowing it to overflow from us so that everyone who touches the arena of our experience is being uplifted simply by the fact that you are here breathing the holy breath and knowing that your breath is one with the One, and that breath of life in you is a gift of God to itself, from itself, for itself, and you are that. I am that. Wow. And then we go through our human experiences, our learnings, and our lack of faith, and coming back to it and breathing in and remembering who we are and calling in the light. And the good news is, the more you call in the light, the more light you will have, the more light you can share, the more light that will heal your body, that will heal your mind, that will cleanse all 4 areas of your life. Health, wealth, love, and fulfillment can happen to you and through you in a moment, but we must bring our attention there. Not just some days, not just one day of the week, but every day. As light workers, we are dedicated to be affirmative in what's going through our consciousness and our thinking, because what's the difference between a thought and a prayer? Only your intention. And we know that if we are one with the one, and that I am born in the image of that living Christ, that Buddha, that high self, that soul gazing at the glory, that there's no limit to that glory, that I could spiral up and up and up and become more aware and more aware and more aware. And understanding that awareness is not about power, it's about joy and ecstasy and love. And then joy and ecstasy and love looks like good, and more good is used, which makes it look like you're powerful, but all you're really doing is in tuning yourself to the infinite and going with the flow that has been given, that you will continue to expand up in your awareness, that as you expand up in your awareness, you can bring forth more light into the world, into your world, the world of your family, the world of your friends, the world of the family you've extendedly created in your life, the world of everyone who's touching your experience, because you're in tuning yourself with the infinite daily. As the great Ernest Holmes, daily we meditate and daily we focus our attention to bring forth an affirmative attitude in all the areas of our life. That comes from Raymond Charles Barker, those defined areas. I remember learning that some 20, 30 years ago, and I thought, how do we know that it's health, wealth, love, and purpose? The answer is it's pretty accurate. Those are the 4 areas of human fulfillment. The greater your vibrant health, the more you can use your body as an instrument of good. The more you have love in your life, the more that love can magnify and multiply all around you. There's no limit to the amount of good you could have in terms of energy that is money, which is just congealed energy that comes to you because your good is coming from you. It's returning through you, and you open to all the avenues and ways and possibilities that can happen, and there's no limit to that good. So here we go. We are working now on bringing a greater degree of love into our life. We are working on synchronicity, opening to allow. It's not a coincidence that the parking place opened up. It's not a coincidence that it looked like there was limited good and now there's unlimited good. It's not a coincidence that it looked like you would have to wait 2 hours at the restaurant and you got seated in 20 minutes. Those are not coincidences. They are things working together through the sum total of your consciousness, the vibration that's coming from you, bringing more good. That vibration, whatever that tone is that's coming from you, that's the tone that's creating. And that tone is coming from the sum total of your awareness. Everything you thought, say, know, feel, and do is creating that tone, and that tone is ringing out into the law of the circle, which is where everyone is connected to the universe, not knowing it, that there's no such thing as an isolated anything, that all thoughts, all feelings, all emotions are all creating that vibration that's coming from you, and that vibration coming from you through the law of the circle is creating your experience. And there's no way to disconnect from it. But there is a way to change it by adjusting your attitude, by attuning yourself to the infinite, by, as we talked about last time, a few weeks ago, about bringing appropriate self-care to yourself so that you can check on that vibration, that you bring if you're having trouble meditating, which is quieting the mind for 20 minutes, well, you work on it. You set a timer for 3 minutes, and then you breathe that breath. You get distracted, and you just keep breathing that breath, remembering that you are one with the one, and breathing the breath. And then if you do that for 3 minutes, then you could do it for 5 minutes. And eventually, we're wanting to get up to around 15 or 20 minutes a day, and sometimes twice a day, depending on how stressed you may be, to center ourselves through meditation, so that then when we use our conscious awareness, we can use our conscious awareness deliberately for specific purposes, and those purposes are always to bring more good in any way, shape, or form. The more we are focusing on bringing good into the world, good into our lives, good into the lives of those who are affected by our lives, those who are close to us, the more we vibrate into that holy self, the more transformed we become, the more we are riding the wave of awareness that is transforming the planet in this dawning of a new time. And as we've talked about, dawning of a new time isn't a weekly thing. It's a lifelong thing. And we will make much more progress in this lifetime than we've ever known, because there are more light workers than there's ever been before, and you are that. And we start connecting light workers. If you have friends that you know are awakened to the truth of life, then the more you can laugh with them and share with them and have deep thoughts with them in conversation, the more the vibrations are increasing. The more light workers touch each other and support each other, the bigger the vibration gets. And there's no limit to how many light workers we could transform the whole planet into a living planet of billions of light workers. Well, we're not there yet, but the work that you're doing this week, the work that you're doing today, by paying attention and remembering who you are and connecting with other light workers and bringing forth that light, this is what's going to cause fulfillment in your life, because your main purpose, let the main thing be the main thing, and your life will be transformed. You have that power, you are that gift in the world, and who you are is something wonderful. And that's what we're doing on Coffee with Casper. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We just gather to remind ourselves who we are and what the main thing is, and to support each other in rising up into the main thing. Let your main thing be about bringing more light into the world, and it will begin to transform every area of your life into greater light, greater love, greater magnificence, and greater truth. We'll be back next week on Coffee with Casper. Until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. Look for the synchronicities in your life this week, praise them, and multiply them. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye.